Welcome. This is your girl, Coach Tanya, and this is the Trauma Recovery Room. Today, we're going to talk about anxieties and the truth behind them. Oh my God, what is anxiety? Do you know what it is? I'm sure you do. Many of us are faced with anxiety every single day, which is a choice, by the way. But it is torturing us. It is making us not be who we are supposed to be. It is changing our mindset. It is reconstructing our beings, ourselves, our souls, our essence. So we're going to talk about the truth behind anxieties. We're going to dig deep into them today in this brief video. It's a few minutes, probably about 10, 15 minutes, but we're going to dig a little deep into anxiety. But of course, before I get started, I like to talk about myself and my business and how it all started and where Tanya K. Austin, Coach Tanya, came from and where the trauma recovery room came from. So my name is Coach Tanya, aka Tanya K. Austin. I am the founder of the Trauma Recovery Room. And what that is a safe haven for those who are going through emotional traumas or who have gone through, who have gone through emotional traumas as a kid, maybe or early in childhood or any point in your life. You've gone through some emotional traumas and you're struggling with overcoming it. So I know during my experience of trying to figure out some things about myself and overcome some fears and some insecurities and just my journey of life and getting to where I am today, I definitely didn't have a lot of resources that I can go to. So that's what the trauma recovery room in. I pretty much grew up in a traumatic childhood, emotionally withdrawn parents, and just not healthy at all. So I grew up believing that it was okay, and that led me to many relationships myself that were very toxic, which ultimately led to the last one, which was the deal breaker for me. So I broke free. I learned some things about myself. I grew, I experienced some things, and I definitely developed a new mindset about life and love and, just fear and things of how God works and how the energy works. So today we're going to talk about anxiety, which definitely deals with fear. So, what is anxiety? It is having a perceived thought that you feel is a threat to you or your safety. So, for it to be a perceived thought, one, that means it's in your mind, which means that you can control it, the thought. And two, it is a belief system that you have developed. So it's way beyond just a simple pop up in the head thought. It is a system that you have developed because it is your perception. Your perception is your belief of something that has been proven to be true. And that's how you perceive it. That's how you take it. It's nothing else that's going to change it. And that's your perception. For anxiety to occur, that perception has to be a threat to you or your peace or your space or your energy, anything that's dealing or pertaining to yourself. It is seen as, because it's something that you've seen or something that you've related to in the past experience that's similar to this, or it is felt as, or it is assumed as, or it is just common sense as it to happen that particular way. So the fear that comes with the anxiety is real to you. The anxiety creates what you see as real. Let me repeat that. The the perception, the perception creates the reality that you see. So the perception, what you believe to be true, guaranteed factual concept is just concrete evidence for you. Your perception of this particular thing is what you will create because your perception is your thought about something, and our thoughts create our reality. So if we change our mind about something, then we can change the perception of how we see it. Then we can change the thought process of how we react to it. So our anxieties, the truth behind them are they have no power unless we give it to them. Because it is only a perceived thought that threatens us, or we think threatens us. It is a perceived thought that some type of threat is coming or on the way because of a situation that's taking place. So, for example, if you lose your job, if you lose your job, the perception is that you're going to go hungry, poor, and broke. So you have this anxiety that you're going to go poor, hungry, and broke. That anxiety is fed off of the fear. And I'm also going to talk about fear. So we're going to talk about that in another video. But that anxiety is what feeds that fear. And the fear is what we manifest. Again, that anxiety is what feeds that fear. And the fear is what we manifest, because what we fear, we focus on. We let it envelop, we involve ourselves into it. We focus on it. We dwell on it. We talk about it all the time. We feel the emotions behind it. And we put it into the universe. We give the universe permission for it to be whatever that is, for it to manifest. So whatever it is that we're fearing, whatever it is that we're anxious about, whatever we perceive as a threat, we're going to create that threat in our real life because we're focusing on it and we've turned it into a fear. So ask yourself, what is real to you? Is the perceived threat real, or can you look at something else in your life and compare it, concrete evidence that can compare to that and dispute it? Which one is real? Is it that you're going to go broke and hungry, or that there are other opportunities out there for you? That job was not the only one, that you have other opportunities to make money and survive and thrive and, live off on? Or is the perceived threat is you're going to go broke and hungry? Which one is real? You have to take into account the reality, not your perception of the reality, but what really is. If you can separate the two, or if they go together, if they're the same, then you're good. But if you can separate the two, the perceived threat and the reality, then you can create a different force of energy that will pull you away from the fear in the first place. So ask yourself, is the threat real? Or is the imagined version of it real? Is the threat real, or is the imagined version of it real? So in knowing that your anxieties are not real, knowing that they are imagined thoughts that you have in your head, that you have the power and control to manipulate and change to become whatever it is that you want it to be. You can subdue your anxieties because you control your thoughts. And anxieties are perceived thoughts that seem to be a threat to your existence or your life or your situation or whatever it is that you're feeling a threat to. So again, if you can change your mind about things, so if you see something as a threat, then changing your mind about that particular thing will begin to also allow you to open the door to see that anxieties are not real. Even if that threat is real, there are still opportunities for you to create solutions that'll work through it. So even if the fear is real, first, do you realize that it's a threat to you, or is it just a threat to just what is going on? Is it a direct threat to you, or is it a direct threat to somebody you know? What is the threat? If you perceive it to be a threat, it is going to be believed as a threat, and it's going to manifest into other threatening situations. If you perceive it differently, it'll produce different results. So again, anxiety is a perceived threat. Ask yourself, what is the perception? What are you perceiving? What do you believe to be true from this particular situation? Know that your perception creates your reality. So what is real to you? Ask yourself, what is real to you? And then ask yourself, is the threat real, or is the imagined version of the threat real? So dig deep into the reality of what's really going on. Find comparisons that are totally different that are proving your anxiety to be false. In other words, find a comparison that's totally different that proves your anxiety to be false, and look at those two. Which one is real? So if you lost your job, you're going to go broken hungry, or God is going to provide for you. Which one is real? The perceived threat that you're going to go broken hungry, or the reality is there are other jobs for you and God is going to provide. That's the reality. And whatever that reality is, bump the perceived threat and focus on that. So you'll take the God is going to provide, and there are other opportunities out there for you to do better. You just take that as a sign that He's removing that so that you can receive better. Take that and focus on that. And then that way, you remove the anxiety, you remove the fear, and you'll remove the worry. So, hope this helps for you. It definitely was, like I said, it was going to be brief. Just something for you to get yourself revved up so that you can think about. So that's all I have for today. Anxiety's Truths. I will see you in the next video. Bye.